welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Chrissy, and we're going to be doing another segment in our series Terrible Movies and Tea with me, Chrissy. So let's get the tea and get ready. And we're back. This week's movie is a special one. It's a movie that I didn't really think was bad, but my criteria for finding these movies is the Rotten Tomato score. And this movie surprisingly has a really bad one. It's got a star-studded cast, animated, it's wonderful and colorful, like me. Yep, that's right. This week we're watching SHARKTALE. Yay! Okay, so the movie opens with a worm on a hook being dropped into the ocean, and then we see a shark that's seemingly gonna eat the worm, but in a twist of fate, he doesn't, because he is a vegetarian. But we don't quite know that yet. We just know he's not like other sharks. So this shark, Lenny, his brother, gives him a lot of shit for not eating the worm. And it's just like, man, you're just a little weirdo. And so then we cut to the reef city with all the other fish and sea creatures. And there's all these cute puns, like a prawn shop. And then we meet our titular character, Oscar. He's doing this MTV Cribs rendition on the side of this billboard, and a bunch of rascal little kids give him shit for it and say that he's poor because, well, he is. He's at the bottom of the reef, but one day he's gonna be at the top. Oscar goes to work at the whale wash, and it's really cute because Christina Aguilera is singing Car Wash in the background, so it's adorable, it's groovy. And we meet another character, Angie, who's this pink pretty fish who works at the whale wash and who is in love with Oscar, and he just does not have a clue. We cut to the shark den, and we see that they're plotting for Lenny to rule the reef, be the top dog or top shark. And I just don't think that'll go well. I mean, look at him. He's a cutie. He's just a little being. So the thing about Oscar is he's a con man. He loves those get-rich-quick money schemes, and he's been borrowing money from his boss. And so his boss calls him into the office, and he's like, you have 24 hours to get me my 5 Gs, and if not, you're gonna be sleeping with the fishes. Or should I say, sleeping not with the fishes, because you'll be dead. Yeah, and so the jellyfish henchmen, like, they give him some mean look. They're just like, yeah, get the money. And so Oscar goes home and he is distraught. And so he's talking to Angie about it, and Angie's being super sweet and supportive and just like, you know what, we'll figure it out. She brings out this beautiful pink pearl that her grandmother gave her, and she says, Oscar, you can sell this to get the money to pay him so that you don't die. Oh, that's just so sweet. Like, and then Oscar is like so ungrateful about it because the next day they're meeting at this seahorse racetrack, because that's where they plan to meet for Oscar to give his boss the money. And Oscar overhears 2 fish talking about how the race is rigged and how Lucky was supposed to win because, you know, it's rigged. And so he hears that and he's like, damn, I know I just got this money, but I should bet it all on this horse because it's gonna win. And then the return would be like $1 million, you know? And so he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And how well do you think that was gonna go? I wonder. Before this was happening, Lenny let the shrimp go at dinner because his dad was like, eat these shrimp, eat them. And it's so cute because the shrimp is like, oh, but I have my baby and my sister died, so I have to watch her baby, and she's got no limbs or arms, so I have to take care of her, and I work 2 shifts. But obviously Lenny's hearing this sob story and he's like, bro, I'm not eating these shrimp. I'm not. And so he lets them all go, and his dad is pissed. At the seahorse races, Oscar meets this woman named Lola, who will be important later. But just to give you a hint, like, the song that comes on when she swims up is she's a gold digger, like something cute like that. So she's clearly not a great person. So they sit down to watch the race, and everything seems like it's going okay for a second. I mean, Lucky Day, the horse that he bet all the money on, was kind of stuck in the gate at first, but then he got out, and then he was winning, and then he trips and falls over seemingly nothing in the ocean and loses. And so while the boss was super happy while the horse was winning, he is not so happy now that he hasn't, because he hawked all his money. He had the money and he bet it all like an idiot. And so he tells his jellyfish henchmen, throw him in the back. So they wrap him up in seaweed or kelp, and that's just so funny. I love all the fish related puns of things. So they swim all the way out, and they tie him to a rock in the middle of the ocean, like in the deep ocean where the sharks are, and they're gonna leave him to die. To Oscar's luck, the shark that happens to be swimming by is none other than Lenny, our lovable loser. And Lenny is with his brother. His dad told his brother to go out, take him out, make sure he kills something. You gotta get him into shape, because remember, he let the shrimp go. And so his brother's trying to hype him up and just be like, yeah, you gotta you just gotta eat it, you know? Just eat it. And so they see Oscar, and he's like, yeah, go eat it. And so Lenny goes up to Oscar, and Oscar's freaking out, muffling and trying to get away. And so Lenny is just like, no, I'm not gonna eat you. Here, just listen to me. I'm gonna kick up a bunch of dust, and then when I'm about to turn around, you swim away. And so he like unties him and everything, and he's like fake eating him, like, and there's all this dust. And so he turns around, and he's like, I did it, so tasty. And then all you see is Oscar still standing there, and he's just like, wait, am I supposed to go now? Like, be fucking for real, of course you were supposed to go. Oh, a mess. Oscar is a mess. Anyway, his brother gets pissed. He's just like, you know what, I'm done with you. I'll handle this. And so he goes over to eat him, and Oscar's swimming, he's trying to get away, and out of nowhere, an anchor comes down from a boat and kills Lenny's brother, dead. Lenny sees this and he's so distraught. He's heartbroken because, that's his brother. Like, they may have different, dietary preferences, but they're still family. And so he's really sad, and Lenny feels like it's all his fault for being different. Oh, that's what this movie is about at its heart, at its core. It's about learning to accept your differences. Whether you're a shark that can't eat meat, or whether you're a woman that can't date men, it's okay to be gay, and it's okay to be a vegetarian. Yeah, that's the moral of this story. Anyway, so Oscar's still hanging out there with the dead shark, and the jellyfish swim back, and they're like, whoa, what happened? Because they heard like the big crash and everything. And so Oscar gets the bright idea to be like, I did that. That was me. He was coming at me, and I was like, bow. Ow. Because I guess they had moved the anchor. That's kind of like continuity wise, it's a little weird, because wouldn't the anchor still be on top of him, But I guess they then, like, the anchor was dragged along a little bit. I don't know, it was weird. But there wasn't an anchor on him when the jellyfish came. But they're like, wow, really? Everybody's eating this story up. And so he goes home, he tells everybody, yeah, I'm the shark slayer. I hit him with the 1 and the 2, and it's gonna be a family reunion, or some shit that he says. And so it's a mess. It's a mess. No one knows the truth except for him and Lenny, and everyone just believes him. And things are looking up. The reporter fish is just like all over him. Everybody's all over him. He's all over the covers of everything. He's finally being at the top of the reef. He gets his penthouse. He's the shark slayer, Oscar. And it's all going great. Or is it? So while Oscar's hanging out in his new penthouse, guess who shows up? The sharks, because they heard about this so-called shark slayer. And they're like, I want to see what this man's about. Okay, you want to talk? Let's talk. And so Oscar is rightfully scared because he's not actually a shark slayer. So he's literally pissing himself as he's going out farther in the reef to fight the sharks, to slay the sharks. But luckily for him, the shark that he does see is his good old pal Lenny. And so Lenny and him are talking, and he was like, oh man, it's not safe out here. There's a shark slayer. And then Oscar goes, there is no shark slayer. And Lenny is like, yeah, there is. There's a shark slayer. And Oscar's like, no, it's me. I'm the shark slayer. And so Lenny just starts cracking the fuck up, which, he is not one to be laughing because you can't even eat meat. Don't laugh. And he uses this information to blackmail Oscar into helping him hide out from his family. And so Oscar reluctantly agrees because he wants to keep his shark slayer alive, you know? They go back to the reef and Oscar hides him in like this garage storage area place with like a bed and stuff like that. And he tells him like, okay, you just gotta stay here, like don't leave and everything will be okay. Angie, our pink beautiful fish and Oscar's best friend, comes into the garage where Lenny is hiding out, and the next time Oscar comes in, he tries to play it off like, oh, I don't know this shark. Oh, there's a shark in the reef. But Angie already knows the truth because Lenny told her. And so Angie's pissed. She's like, wow, you're just a fucking liar. Which, as she should, she is too good for Oscar. Oscar does not deserve her. They're just like, well, we need to come up with a plan to end them coming for us like forever, you know? We can't always have the sharks on our back. I'm not a real shark slayer. And so him and Lenny are talking and they come up with a plan to have like this big spectacle fight in the middle of the reef. Like Oscar will hit him and he'll like spin around and spin out and it'll be cool and it'll be perfect. And Angie's just like, y'all gotta be fucking kidding me. She thinks that they should just come out and tell the truth, which they should have done. But you know, they didn't because plot. So the next day, after they planned everything, they get the show rolling. Like Oscar's pretending to hit him, like Lenny is swirling around, being thrown up and down, and all this cool like WWE stuff. Yeah, it's giving WWE. At one point, Lenny accidentally puts Oscar in his mouth. And so Oscar does this thing where he like opens the shark's jaws and he's just saying a bunch of movie lines. He's like, you can't handle the truth. Like, what is happening? Please be for real. Yeah, so then he throws Lenny and he lands and he falls deep, deep down. Well, he acts like he falls deep, deep down and is dead. And then the crowd loves him. The crowd loves Oscar. They throw him all this stuff. They're just like, wow, Shark Slayer strikes again. And all the while, Angie's sitting there like, wow, okay, I see how it is. He's been like, Angie, you're my best friend. He even gave her back the pearl that her grandmother gave her, but like with interest because it was like a whole pearl necklace of pink pearls. Angie's just like, bro, I don't want to be besties with you. I want to be the resties with you. And he's just too infatuated with Lola. And Lola's got him wrapped around her little finger. She's just like, no, you're the Shark Slayer. And she's played by Angelina Jolie, so you know she's hot. She's hot, she eats. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention that during the fight, at the end, Lola wanted her 5 minutes of fame, so she swims up and she kisses Oscar on live television. Like, everybody's watching it, everybody's seeing it. His boss is on the phone with the shark mob, and it's like, yeah, you see the TV? This is what we got over here. I'm not paying you for protection anymore. Like, click. So back at the hideout in the garage, like, Lenny and Oscar are talking about how cool they all were and just congratulating each other. And Angie's like, she's pretty miffed, you know, like she's kind of pissed off. And so while Lenny is painting himself to look like a dolphin so that he can work at the whale wash, Oscar and Angie are having a conversation and Angie's telling him like, bro, this is not okay. This is not who you are. This is the person you're going to be. A liar and a cheat? Lola? Like literally Lola? I've been here this entire time. Everything at the bottom of the reef just wasn't good enough for you, including me. And so Oscar's like, you know, well, no, but like, and she's just like, that's a little too late. So she tells him, she's like, go, just get out of here, go. And so Oscar swims away. And Lenny comes out and he looks so cute. He's like, and Angie's like, oh, I'm sorry. Can you do it again? And then Lenny's like, oh, it's okay. Oh, and they hug, and it's sweet. Oscar really starts to take a hard look at himself. He's looking around at this penthouse, the people that are constantly having parties there. How do they get in? Lola's trying to seduce him back into, you know, being with him, being the shark slayer for her, so that she can be rich and famous too, you know? No. He's like, I love Angie. Yeah, I've always loved Angie. Yeah, so after Oscar says that, she's like, you're not leaving me. He's like, well, I think I am, so. And she beats the fuck out of him, and she's like slamming him against the windows, and everyone in the party is just like, young love. Domestic violence, delicious. Yeah, no. So that all happens, and Oscar goes to the whale wash the next day trying to talk to Angie, you know, to tell her that he loves her. He's always loved her. It's been you. But Angie isn't there, and the Jamaican jellyfish henchmen are on the phone trying to do the call back and forth, and it's just, they're a mess. They're hilarious. But Oscar gets a call, and he's on the phone, and it's the shark mob, and they're like, we have Angie. So you're gonna come down here and we're gonna have a sit down. Okay? Nod if you understand. And then he's like, tell me if you nodded. And it's funny. And so they're all freaking out, like him and Lenny, and they're just like, man, what are we gonna do? And so his boss is like, oh no. He puffs up instantly. It's like, oh, fuck. And so the three of them, they go to the sit down at the mob boss headquarters in this abandoned ship. Oscar's playing big dog, you know, like faking all the sharks out, like, ooh, you know, grrr. And they're all just like literally pissing their pants. They bring out Angie on a plate, like all wrapped up and stuff. He's like, no, you're gonna let her go and I run the reef. And then, you know, Lenny's dad is like, no, it's not that easy. This is my reef and I decide what happens. So he's about to eat Angie, and so he's like, no. And so his dad starts to recognize this dolphin and is like, wait, Lenny? He's like, oh my God, Lenny, my son's alive. He's like, what did you do? You painted yourself? And then all the sharks are like, whoa, now we recognize him, but we didn't because he had on a disguise. Yeah, so after he finds out that, you know, this dolphin is his son, Lenny, he's like super mad. He's like, how could you side with the person that killed your brother? And then they tell the truth and they're like, well, technically an anchor killed my brother, so. And so the dad gets so mad. He's just like, you know what, fuck all this, I'm gonna eat you, Oscar. So he's chasing after Oscar, and then the shrimp that Lenny let go before, they come back and they're like, ooh, yeah, she was stuck in a porthole, you know. Then they start like hitting him and stuff like that, and then he finally breaks through and they swim away, and that's a cute moment. And then Lenny had grabbed Angie and stuff, and so they're, you know, rushing around, and they get all the way back to the reef, and Oscar has a smart idea to take him into the whale wash, because in the whale wash they have these clamps and stuff to lock onto the whale if like soap accidentally gets in their eye or something like that and they start to freak out, not to break anything and to keep them and the whale safe. And so his first attempt kind of doesn't go so well. The suds clears and he realizes it's Lenny in the trap. He's like, Lenny, where's your dad? And he's like, oh, he's behind me, isn't he? And so then he swims around and he gets him in like a second part of like a safety precaution clamp down thing. And Lenny and his dad, they're facing each other. And now that everybody's stopped and they can actually talk, Lenny tells him like, hey, I'm a vegetarian, like that's just who I am. And Oscar's like, yeah, and if you can't love Lenny for who he is, then what kind of person are you? Like, please love your gay children. It was kind of warming my heart. It was kind of really endearing. And obviously the dad was like, you know what, you're right. I don't know why I couldn't just accept you for who you were. And so like at this point in time, like the reporter's there and everything. And so Oscar steps up and he's like, I'm not the shark slayer. I never slayed a shark. An anchor did it. And he's just like, but I did learn what it means to, you know, like really have friends and to really love someone. and to tell the truth, you know? Like all those cute, like end of movie lesson learned cute things. And so Angie swims up and he's like, and I love you, Angie. And it's so sweet. And they kiss. And it's sweet. And so at the end, you know, they agreed not to attack the reef. Missy Elliott and Christina Aguilera have a song at the end because Oscar goes back to working at the whale wash, and this time he's actually co-owner of it. You know, kind of to honor his dad and to be true to his roots and to who he is. And that's really sweet. So all in all, it was a good movie, a really good movie. I don't know why it has such a bad Rotten Tomato score. Like, that's kind of ghetto, but I liked it. It was really sweet. I mean, the animation kind of doesn't hold up anymore, but you know, what can you do? It was the 2000s. Yeah, so I'm gonna give this movie 8 tea bags out of 10. And the tea, we're drinking this orange and turmeric tea. I'm gonna give this, I'm gonna say 6 out of 10. It was pretty good. Fruity, fun, colorful, like the movie. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. There's gonna be another movie in this series, and I'll see you later. Wait, don't forget to subscribe and like. Okay, bye.